Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Susila Yunia. My student number is 25, 18, and 111. In here, I want to explain about the function of oral language. First, the purpose of language is to communicate needs, wants, ideas, feelings, and information. Like writing, speaking also has a variety of genres. The function of oral text is, first, instrumental. In here, language as a means of carrying things and satisfying material needs. It can help us to identify things, seek and provide information, and request assistance. The second is personal. Personal is expressing individuality, awareness of self, pride. In here, it can help us to elaborate and give detailed recount of experience, express and respond to ideas and opinions, and then express agreement and disagreement, seek, give and deny permission to do something, and the last is express approval or disapproval for a service provided. The third function is interactional. In here, it can getting along with others, establishing relative status. Can help us to greet or welcome people, meet or introduce people, take leave of somebody, attract attention, congratulate, sustain conversation with familiar and unfamiliar people, meet social obligation when working in groups, and then use language to settle disputes, use appropriate tone and manner with peers, explore challenging ideas, interrupt appropriately, and negotiate. And then is regulatory. It's controlling the behavior and feelings of others. This sort of language help us to give information or correct factual information, persuade others, give specific logical instruction, and a variety of contexts for different audience. The other function is representational. I've got something to tell you. It is example of this. It can communicating information, description, expressing propositions. It can help us to tell about the real world, express a proposition, report about things using description of narrative, and then convey message. The other of function of oral text is heuristic. It can seeking and testing knowledge. It can help us to use a range of questions, respond to question appropriately, select the most effective type of question to get the required information, and then express and find out intellectual ideas. And the last is hypothesis and experiment. And the last of function of oral language is imaginative. It can help us to perform, recite, and poetry. The different it's important to talk as performance, usually in formal activities, when speak to audience, debating. Besides that, talk as a process refers to use of talk for learning to make social relationship like class discussion. The difference in register can be considered in terms of three register components. There are filed, tenor, and mode. The first is filed. Filed refers to who or what is being talked about. At school, students to participate in spoken language activities centered on various curriculum topics on social relationship and on learning itself. And the second is tenor relationship between speaker and listener. At school, students have to learn to be member of large group and work collaboratively with others. And the last one is mood. It is type of text being produced. And the other factors is developing communicating competence and the function of language. To communicate with is in social and academic context. Students need to understand and how to range of oral language texts will operate in different contexts. The section of this contains information on first, discussion. Discussion challenge students to use reasoning, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills. They also involve group in generating possible solutions, giving explanation, and making decisions. It's modeling like disagreeing agreeably, neutral language, promoting group cohesion, coordinate group activities, explore topics creatively, and encourage resolution and consensus. The second one is sharing, use role play, games activities, emphasis, the social skills, and the last one is guiding. The second is extended conversation. Conversation dialogues that occur between student and teacher and between student and students. Modeling an extended conversation is to engage students in a real conversation about meaningful objects. Example, teacher gave question like, what else do you know about polar bear? And see the interaction. Third is partner and small group work. It's like home group, work group, and sharing group. Fourth is oral reports. It giving students experience in selecting and organizing information. The fifth is questioning and inquiry. Dialogue between teacher and students can give self-question. The sixth is interviews. In interview, students practice effective questioning and develop the skill to listen critically. The seventh is meeting. Form of discuss matters of importance, problems, and resolve specific issues. This is to develop and reinforce speaking and listening skills. The eighth is argument and informal debates. The language used for debates and developing argument is designed to persuade an audience to accept a particular point of view. Ninth is interest talks. It is a way for students to share topics of personal interest with others. The 10th point is storytelling and anecdotes. Telling story, retelling events, and relating personal anecdotes has traditionally been the way that cultures and society have preserved and celebrated their traditions based on their values and belief system and entertain and instruction. Okay, thank you. It's for me. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.